Hello, and welcome to the Holiday Edition 2019 of Infinite House of Books video magazine, covering October to December of 2019. This month, as promised, we will bring you a treat with the first of the Discover Words audio tales. Coming up, the story is Gift of Change. This is all because of me? Marya still couldn't believe it. Look, sweetheart, I just gone out to celebrate with the buddies. I mean, who wouldn't when the love of your life since high school says she'll spend the rest of her life with you? I mean, that is such an amazing gift. And that gives you permission to drink a little too much, run a red light, and kill a man? Marya still hated saying those words. Yet, that's what the jury found him guilty of. She would not argue with the law. But it's not forever. And besides, I still got you with me. You said you would marry me. You've always been with me, sweetheart. Like I said, you're one amazing gift. He was right about that. This wasn't the first time he'd screwed up, and always Marya told him she'd be there for him and by his side. Too bad for you. This girl's got a return policy. Marya turned and walked out. Now for the story behind the story of this particular Discover Words audio tales. Gift of Change is a follow-up of sorts to a short story that I wrote, first published online in 2002 by a now defunct online magazine called Mocha Memoirs. In that story, the main character's father is killed by a drunk driver and wonders how the life is for the driver who survived that crash. And this month on the blog also saw the return of Own Your Own Tale. For a year that was intended to be themed around being able to plan out your life and owning your own tale, everything I learned was that I couldn't plan, and it wasn't a lack of ability on my part. But it's hard enough when you're struggling to just lay out that set of plans and keep things under your control. But what happens when things occur beyond your control that completely influence your life? Which is what's happened to me all year long. So when it came to my goals as an author and for publishing, I finally had to realize I was in a place where I really can't set any kind of regular publishing schedule for now. You know, whether it be the experiments I was trying on Wattpad or putting books up for pre-release as I have through Smashwords. Because I've pre-announced them, and then over and over I push the date because things just keep getting in the way. I am going to take on NaNo, National Novel Writing Month, for the first time in years this month to try to see if I can get myself into some sort of rhythm, but I'm not creating any kind of obligation for myself. I've told myself I'm not going to be disappointed with myself if I don't make 50,000 words this year. But I have to get past these big things that have just happened recently and try to find a new normal. I need to make those small steps like the daily writing goal, and NaNo will be great for that, so I don't feel overwhelmed, which right now is a very easy place for me to be in. Also, as promised, Between the Pages made its appearance on the blog in a special last Tuesday of the month slot because we had 5 Tuesdays this month. Both this and Own Your Own Tale will be going on hiatus for the rest of the year due to some holiday events, and both of them will return in January. So because of that, I decided on a particular theme around holiday reads. So the blog post is seeking out holiday reads. Now, I'm personally not usually the kind of person who seeks out holiday-themed reads. For me, it's always about a good story first that just happens to be set during the holiday season. Like, I have no problem reading a holiday story in July. Absolutely not. If that's the backdrop that's needed for the story, it doesn't mean that I only need to go pick it up in November or December. I know some other people are like that. Like I said, I'm by no means being dismissive of the large amount of books that seem to be marketed just to fit the season. Like they're written and they all show up and you mention them that time of year. Many of them are probably fine stories. I haven't read them, so obviously I can't judge them. However, in like long-running series, there's also the possibility that some may be equivalent to creating that special holiday episode of your favorite long-running TV show. And we've seen that not always go so well either. So all I do know is you can't judge a book by its cover. And definitely have some happy holiday reading, whatever you celebrate. And check back in with you in January 2020. So, this holiday installment of Infinite House of Books video magazine, covering October, November, and December of 2019, will be the last for the year. I know that it was kind of a rough road, and this particular edition, actually best reflects what I want a regular edition to look like in terms of its segments and what it will feature. As I said, though, in Own Your Own Tale, there's a lot going on, and I honestly believe that it will be better for me to take a step back, reassess the editorial calendar, and bring you a phenomenal piece in January. I thank you so much for your patience and so much for your understanding. So again, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in 2020.